Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I don't know what's true or not. Sometimes people word things a certain way, and as they do, they reveal the truth about what it is they're actually trying to say. Other times, that's just what they're wording it, and it means exactly what you think. But a lot of times, especially when people get on TV to say certain things when they don't want to be sued, they have to word it a certain way in order to cover the backside. And the dude who's coming out saying that he slept with Barack Obama and Barack Obama was giving him drugs or was smoking drugs with him or whatever, that dude revealed that to me. I don't know if anybody's paying attention, but Tucker Carlson is interviewing some dude who said he slept with a Barack Obama in '99. Problem is, he revealed his cap to my brain by saying a person was introduced to me by the name of Barack Obama. He was introduced to me as Barack Obama. Introduced to me as. Trust me right now. That could mean that anybody could have came up to him and said, hey, this is someone named Barack Obama, and then proceed whatever happens after that. That person didn't have to look like the president. That person didn't have to be confused as the president by this person or anything like that. All that needed to happen was somebody had to come up to this person and introduce him to him, someone who called themselves Barack Obama. Likely a lookalike. You understand what I'm saying? A Barack Obama lookalike. Introduced to him as Barack Obama. He likely knew that person wasn't Barack Obama and proceeded the process. So that's what I just wanted to say to everybody, because a lot of times people will put things out there for the public to receive. And the English language is a very, very specific language. You could be all kinds of roundabout about it in your common life, but when it comes to them lawyers, you can't get those two things confused. Now, if this person would have said the President Barack Obama was the person this was, in those exact words, then we're cooking with grease. But since this person covered their backside by leaving room for it to have not been Barack Obama ever so slightly, helps me understand that it probably was not Barack Obama at all. I just want to let people know, because a lot of times it's like, a lot of us don't know the English language, even though we're American. We don't know the English language well enough to be able to detect those things in a lot of cases. Some do, a lot don't. And the people that they're promoting this to, they know are not very educated. They know this. A lot of people who are very excited about getting Barack Obama in trouble in this type of low frequency way ain't going to be detecting this type of stuff while they're receiving the tea. They're not. And they're going to run with this. And they're not going to listen to the backside covering words. But lawyers are going to recognize it. Intelligent people are going to recognize it. And people who are not excited about getting Barack Obama in whatever trouble this may be may recognize it. So I just wanted to let everybody who follows me know that I am not confused. Another thing, do you think for 1 second if this guy was out and about during the first or second election, he wouldn't have come out with this smoking gun to destroy the campaign? Come on, man. I'm not buying. This is low-hanging fruit, attacking the old president for reasons that have to do with the new election, obviously. He ain't going to be rerunning, but they definitely want to destroy all Democrats and just put a bad taste in your mouth about Democrats, or bring us a conversation about that, or stir up the pot. That would ultimately make you look at the Democrats crazy. Now, me personally, I don't like them no more than I like the other guys. It doesn't move me at all. I told y'all, I'm independent at this point, and I ain't too sure what the hell is going on with this stuff. That's how I feel about American politics. The more I learn about politics in general, the less I believe in them. The less I believe in them. Too much gets slipped through the cracks by way of the reasons of you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And while people are scratching each other's back, it's all kinds of stuff going through the cracks because of it. I don't really like the system. I know it works, but it doesn't fully work because it hasn't figured that part out. So for me, it's just like, all right, as I grow more aware of how things work, the less faith I have in them working, to be completely honest with you, when it comes to stuff like that. But nevertheless, I look at this Barack Obama story and I just kind of laugh at it. Now, does this mean that that is 100% the case, that this person could not have possibly been Barack Obama? Not necessarily at all. He left room for it to have been the president, but he most definitely left specific cover my backside just in case he want to get sued room for it to have not been Barack Obama. And that, my friends, tells me, given the fact that this is slander, and he most definitely will be sued for this, that he already has it in mind. I don't know if it's going to help, because at the end of the day, he's getting on TV saying and insinuating that this was the president. And by way of that, there's going to be some things that lawyers can do, even though he's covering his back with his voice in this way, that'll probably go still get him in a whole lot of hell. I don't know why a person would put themselves out there like this, other than the fact they need money to serve some very, very low frequency purpose, because you're going to obviously get in most definite trouble for this. That's what it really comes down to. A guy like that, you think Tucker Carlson's side of the fence is going to save you, bro? From what types of unnecessary nonsense is probably going to be trickling down into your life over the next 10 years because of what you just did here? It's going to be hard for you, man. Whether you're telling the truth or not, it's going to be hard for you. I'm telling you right now. But I don't think a person like that cares, because I think a person like that is likely addicted to something that would make them very reckless and make them very desperate to keep paying for it. That's exactly what I think. And it's sad too, because Tucker Carlson and his people have an opportunity to get this man the help that he needs, and instead they're exploiting him for low frequency purposes that most people are not going to believe and nobody is likely going to prove. It's lame. It's beneath them, and ultimately it's bullying, even if it is true. Now, granted, what's been alleged that Barack Obama was taking some illegal drugs, so if anything, that's the type of trouble they could kind of stir up if they happen to find out this is true. But other than that, whatever he did with his man outside his marriage is between him and his wife. I don't think anything happened myself, but what do I know? I wasn't there for nothing. All I know is this person's covering their backside in a way that most definitely protect them from being come down on too hard in the courts, I think. Although, like I said, I don't think it's going to work. But anything they can do, you know, to smear a black man's name too, I got to put that out there, because it's the truth, man. This is more of what we talk about. There's anything they can do. They know the black community is deeply homophobic in nature. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of people who are not, obviously, but just as if you want to just rope us all in, yeah, you can't be gay famous and not see some backlash, especially if you didn't come out initially and tell everybody what you was about. If they find out you closeted, it's gonna be shunning. As we see all the time, it's a consistency. And so that's going to make things look bad on Barack for those who are going to believe this story. But what I'm saying is, it's not that believable of a story, to be honest with you. It's really not. It's just not, man. And the fact of the matter is, just about not a week ago, maybe about a month and a half ago, some type of poem was released where Barack Obama was speaking on something in regards to sleeping with some dude that he had wrote back in like the 70s or something. I don't know what that was about. So he was already facing these type of, things. And now the story comes out right after that to kind of drive the nail into the coffin. So for me, it's just like, all right, bro, you could almost see this coming. It's not that great of an attempt, to be honest with you, given the timing of it all. So I don't know. I just think it's a lame attempt, bro. Honestly, it's a real lame attempt at trying to smear the man. It's not that good of an attempt, And so that's why it just seems to me that this was likely released by somebody who is just kind of bitter. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like this is coming from someone who's very intricate in their thinking. This sounds like it was just somebody who kind of mad at him and figured they'd try to throw a story out there to just smear his name. That's what it feels like to me. It just ain't that good of a story. You know what I mean? It's not that believable of a story. It's basically what I'm saying there. But earlier today when I was listening to it, I had a totally different opinion. I felt the man who was talking believed what he was saying, and I think he does. But I think it's also worded very clearly that the person introduced to him was told to him to be Barack Obama. doesn't necessarily mean that the person that he met, he believes, was the president. So that's what I wanted to say, man. I just wanted to give people what it is I see there, because I know a lot of people they don't believe the story, but I haven't seen anybody point out where the hint in the cap actually is in his story. It's just skepticism for a lot of people. They just ain't buying it because it don't seem believable. But what I'm telling y'all is, he revealed himself to be more or less capable of not having met the actual president in this conversation as he was speaking. So that's really what it comes down to. You just got to pay attention to every single word, especially in the English language, because that's where the details are. This country and not this country, but the people who created this language were very, very specific. They wanted everything to be very precise, and it's a very intricate science, this language. And if you throw one word off, two words off, take off a plural or something like that, you got an entirely different meaning. And a lot of people who are learning this language, or a lot of people who don't know the language fully or don't understand that, they make that mistake and end up buying stories that are just lies, or end up messing up whatever the meaning of what it is something is, or however, what have you. So that's what I want to tell people. If you don't know English that well, do understand that it is split up so very detailed, so that you can be very intentional on what you are trying to express. That's why it's important that we understand the language clearly. Even if we don't speak it very well, we got to know that other people are trying to communicate certain things when they change certain words, or change certain phrases, or add a plural, or what have you. So I don't know who all follows me. Some people are learning the language as they go along when they watch YouTube videos like this. That's normal. And maybe they may not understand that. But them little words, you want to know all of them in this language. You want to know everything you need to know, so that you're expressing yourself in a way that others can, understand and know the difference between what it is that you're trying to say and what it is that ultimately you are not. So that's what I want to tell people, man. Learn that language, keep learning it. Having a roundabout understanding of English can get you in trouble when dealing with people like this. You will definitely end up with circumstances where you think something's one thing and they're really trying to express something else, but they don't necessarily need you to know it. They just need you to know it later when you try to sue them. Believe that. So that's pretty much that, man. This story was cap, I believe. I gave it a 1% chance of being real, man. 1%. It's not believable. He didn't express directly that he met the president. He just roundabout told us that he met some dude with the president's name, and that's about it. So that's what I gotta say. My name is BDF 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.